Got pops? Father and son share words of wisdom.
That's a bet.
Yes.
Oh, we record now. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
We are recording.
Yep, I see it in the.
Yes, sir. We're never gonna miss that again.
Hey, that's part of it.
Right. That's the part we're looking for. Right. So what's popping?
What's swapping, sir?
Oh man. You know, doing what we do, another good day, another good deed. You know, making it do what it do, making a difference. I know the day that I got pictures back from them kids already, you know, helping them kids with their graduation with nobody, you know, a lot of people not supportive. And, you know, some people want to help them celebrate. So, you know, we did our thing. Got pictures, and I got a phone call from one of the kids. And tomorrow, the young lady, she's in Ann Arbor. She'll get her little packet. But that brings me to, what was your good deed of the day?
Well, my lady has a necklace that has it had a knot in it and it's really fine. And I killed a spider.
With the necklace, or you got that necklace?
I just switched it up. What else did I deliver some milk to some people?
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I know you on the front lines, and I know a lot of people don't. You don't thank you. You didn't came through the COVID, did your thing. So
I hit COVID with good footwork. I
right,
took one dribble, one step, pump fake. COVID jumped. I was like, then I still had my next foot. So I right at the rack.
one step. You one stepped it.
They not ready for the footwork, especially not COVID-19.
Right. Yeah. You put it down and got right back on their head.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah. You know, with that being said, you know, you got to be grateful that you were able to. So many people not. And then you know, people tripping and everything. But that brings me to your man, right? We always talk about uh, sports. Well, at least I do. And you won the last bet with the boxing. Great call. You know what I mean? Great call. Didn't see it coming.
correct.
My man got the brakes beat off of him. Like he lost the brakes, the front engine of the car, the two doors, the top, the roof, everything. He lost it all.
Yeah.
But you know,
Sure.
when yeah. You know, although I kind of think the Super Bowl thing was a good victory for me. I'll take the Super Bowl for sure. The last couple of victories before the Super Bowl, just to, just so I can feel good about this thing, you know. But yeah, but you know, I think we was when we was talking earlier, and we was like, you know, getting off the phone, and I was telling you about how you know this father and son thing dynamic is a huge dynamic. and I gave you my man's story, and I'm 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 thinking that the multiple stories
Hmm.
that I know, I think about BA and Deontay's relationship, I think about Clarence, his dad, their relationship, and I get over and I see my man Zach with his sons and their relationships. And today, uh, my man, when I took the last bag, the last stop, and how, as a stepfather, he was proud for my man. And so it made me think about uh, when I was telling you about my coworker situation with, his dad and how, you know, he didn't have, he didn't go sit down and talk,
All
which,
right.
right, because he was, upset, right? Him and the parents was divorcing, and he had just one side of the story. And when I hear that, I come across that a lot with a lot of people, and I always tell a kid. Recently, one of my mentees called, and it was, he was having a conversation too, and I said, "Hey, listen, pick up the phone and call your father. That conversation is between you and your dad." And for the life of me, I don't know if it's part of the conditioning or whatever, but picking up the phone to call your dad, it seems to be very hard for people.
Well, that's that like you said, the acceptance. When like it took so long for me to be more of myself, which is half of myself that I wasn't able or wasn't willing to accept. You know what I'm saying? In order, if you accept yourself, you got to accept the parent too, because they're half of you. So that half of you that you're denying yourself. So it's like it's a catch-22.
Okay, I'll take that.
Hey, cause I got you on the big screen, so I can see every facial muscle.
Right.
It was like, wait, did you just say that? Like, it was deeper than that. It was 10 times deeper than that. Like, you said yourself. Like, you know what you're saying?
Right. Right, because when you hear it, it's like I was saying, right? When we're able to pay attention and hear our own advice, when you can listen to your own advice, you're winning. The advice that you might give someone else,
Yeah.
right? You're winning. I think about all the conversations with all the people that I hear, and you hear those conversations come back, and it's a great thing that we learn from each other. But in that process, I'm just curious as to, and maybe you can enlighten me on this. So when you wasn't thinking, let me pick up the phone, call my dad, like what was the thought? Like
I want male influence. I want some type of guidance, some type of somebody to help me, you know. So you go to church or you go to these different meetings like the one I take you to, and the answers wasn't there. I mean, even to me looking back, remember the meeting we went to?
6 o'clock in the morning.
Man, I look back and that stuff wasn't wasn't what I was looking for. I don't think that it's that it was bad or that it wasn't right, you
No,
know, or
no.
that it was, because it helped a lot of those men that was in there. But
Right,
for me, that's not what I was looking for.
right. No, it never is. You know, I wish you could have got on last night, right? In the conversation that I had with the lady in Maryland, Miss Alex, right? And Alexis Dobbins, right? And so kids need too. And so the conversation was epic, right? And so, you know, she asked some incredible questions, and you don't realize the information that you do have, right? And one of them was, you know, what are the types of things you would recommend a father do in this climate to reach out, right? Because he's not seeing his kid because of the stay home. What are some things that they can do? And I rattled off, and I was like, wow, it's always been there, right? And I rattled off, and this is information that I would give them, but didn't realize that it's the same information I had been using with my own son, right? So, you know, I did realize it, but I made the suggestion. I said, order some books, take the books over there, put them on the porch. Go by, say hello, what's up, blow the horn, let them know you out there. Send them a video, FaceTime them if y'all both got, just let them know you love them, right? Try to stay in touch with them and making sure that they're on top of their game. And when I got through rattling off, I was like, wow, I really do that stuff. Like, you know, and I kept referencing that, you know, I kept referencing that we don't understand that these are the limitations that we have to deal with. So here's some way that you do it. And I gave the story of the one mom that I put her and her son in the Good Fathers Only shirt, and every time she dropped him off to the father up in Flint, sooner or later, she wasn't going up. He was coming down. Next thing you know, he was meeting her at the school, picking him up. Then next thing you know, he asked, could he have access to him? Next thing you know, he gets access to a son. She get access to her life. You help them two, they take off. It's so many stories like that just from our t-shirts, right? Like, that's what I did. Like, oh, you have done nothing. That's nothing. No, I know the intent. If I give you your son, I'm helping both of you. You cannot tell me that society doesn't know that. So that was something that I shared last night, and you know, taking it all the way back to what I was talking about. Why you won't pick up the phone? You won't pick up the phone because you have been conditioned to believe that I'm not the answer. And statistics point out that the father and the relationship with the biological father is a huge relationship for the child. So, you know, what would you tell a millennial? Because you know, you helping people. You know, I heard, you know, I've been listening to you, proud of you, how you've been helping other men. What would you, you know, just like with your show that you're about to do, you know, that you're doing on helping men, not, you know, I thought that was an interesting thing that you said today about the mama's boy, the words and the
Yeah.
research. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, as far as thanks, but as far as a millennial picking up the phone and talking to his pops, that's what you're saying?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Again, it's always the only, like, personally, I like to stick to what works, you know, and what worked for me and what worked for my little brother was look at it from their perspective. Now again, Dominique and Cam, they or my little brother and my little sister may not see it until they get a certain age. See, it was being able to refer back to that age, and Keith being able to refer back to that age, that it's like you get to put you actually putting on your shoes,
okay,
you know. And so that instantly opens it up to saying, and being more empathetic to the situation when you phrase it like, what would you have done at that age?
Yeah. I'm curious because my man was a daddy at 15, and he come through, and he been through everything. I can't wait to get him on, right? But on Daddy Talk, but he been through he been through the gamut, and when you see that and you wonder, wow, and just keep going, like just keep going. It's just an amazing feat to see men um, that don't break. Yeah, they hurt, you know what I mean, and they have their moments. They pull off to the side where nobody can see them because they're not seeing their kids in the games that they go through. They hurt. They do that, and they shed a tear or two, and then they try to get into an environment that celebrates them, right? And that's why I say it's so important, right? We don't see how men go to the barbershop and how men get validated in the barbershop, right? And get told that man, you look good. You know what I mean? Oh, that's sweet, Joe. Man, that cut, oh, you together, right? But when you get outside of that environment, you have to put back on the other stuff, all the other conditions. That's why the barbershop is a location where you can have great dialogue about these issues. Like when we did the What Does Fatherhood Mean to You, when we shot the video, the feedback is, and I would, getting that feedback now is huge because you hear the men say what it really means to them. And for a son like yourself, like watching you, man, I'm talking about just watching you do your thing, figuring it out, going through the processes, but you're not putting yourself in harm's way. And the research, the reading, man, that just does a lot for me to know that you have those tools and that you do it, because that helps with your decision making. And I'm thinking if we can do that with the younger generation and teaching them that sometimes you got to do the research, sometimes you got to seek some information outside of the information that you may be hearing versus what you may be reading and comprehending, right? That you can find out some things. And I'll tell you the story. I remember it was a 17-year-old. He was going Renaissance, right? He was 16. And I think I told you this before, but, I was delivering some shirts to his mom. They ordered family reunion shirts. And I was delivering the shirts. And, I really had to get back to the shop. And she said, she yelled out from the window, "Hey, Calvin." I was like, "What's up?" She was like, "My son don't want to be a father." And I was like, wow. I was like, "You 16? You don't want to be a father?" He was like, "No, man." He said, "Man, you see how they treat fathers?" Like, he was serious. He like, "I'm not even interested in it. I don't want no kids. I don't want to be a father. They dog fathers." And I was like, "Okay, well, let me give you the other side of that. Let's cut on the other side of your brain." He like, "Nah, man, I done looked at it from every angle." Okay, so you 16, so I say, "So tell me why you don't want to be a father." Like, you 16. I mean, I get it. You shouldn't want to be a father right now, for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my
You know what I mean? I get that part, but tell me, when you in your future that's not part of your plans. He's like, "Oh no, I'm really." So I had to take him through a full blown journey. I say, "You're 16. Say in a minute, you're gonna go through this process. You can be 20. Then you're gonna go through another process because you're smart. You're going to college. So you're going to get the necessary degrees that's going to help you. Then you're going to start making money, and then something is going to tell you somewhere along the line that you want a family. Because if you're doing all the right things, you're going to see where so many kids like yourself didn't have two parents. So then how you going to answer that urge, right? You going to get married or you going to be a player, right? So we went through the whole gamut. He's like, well, you know, I ain't really trying to be a player. Yeah, because you're going to lose. Tell you that right now. You're going to lose. Point blank. Because playing that game is a dangerous game. And you're not cut out for it, right? A lot of people they just not cut out for it. They swear up and down they players until they see their girl with another man and all of a sudden they turn into super sucker, right? And so that process, as I took him through, he was like, I say, so now imagine you've achieved all your goals, you got your home, you got your wife, and then she announces she's pregnant. Now what
He
you
said
do?
he out.
No. He had started buying in once he had graduated from college. I said, I took him back. You shouldn't want to be a father at 16, son. So that's a good mindset, right? I'm saying, but once you graduate from college and you start getting into your life, that urge to be a dad is going to kick in. I guarantee you, especially if you find a good woman. So, you know, after I left, you know, gave me 5. He said, I understand. I say, anytime you want to talk about that. Your mom is my Facebook friend. She got my number. My number probably ain't changing for the next 15 years. You'll be able to dial 332-3323. You know what I mean? That's just where it is. But that's where we are, because you are so important. You are, right? And as I was watching the draft last night, you're so important. Like I was watching the draft going, I remember, and the draft was full of fatherhood. Full of fatherhood. Fathers who had died, fathers who had got hit with sacrificing, fathers who are there, fathers, mothers, fathers, parents. It dominated the scenario where years ago it used to be dominated by the single mother aspect. Now the first round was dominated by 2-parent households and fatherhood involvement. That was majority of the first round. And even one of the young dudes he was the third, right? He was the second, and he birthed the third. And his dad and him, they were all together. So when you look at those things and you say like, God is changing. Malachi 4:6, turning the hearts of the fathers, turning the hearts of the children to the fathers and the hearts of the fathers to the children, and including millennial sons who, like yourself, you got a great story, son. It's brewing. And I'm proud that you woke up. You know, I'm proud of that because it's just very important for you to understand how important you really are.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm very important. No, but I really, like I said, I've been working on it. So that's all I can do, man, is keep grinding. That's one good thing about sports. Is the competitiveness, the practice. You know, I saw myself get better over the years because I did the same things over and over and over, and being able to apply that. And but like I said, it's or like you said, you're your worst enemy. I mean, once I get past myself, everyone has a story, and that's what stops a lot of people. Is like that small voice or that loud voice of negativity, and it's like you're the only person like you. You're the only person that's been through what you've been through. Yeah, people have similar stories, but you telling your story, you have no idea how many people it can impact, whether it be 1 or 1 million. You know, but that's why it's important for whoever you are to share your story, man. You know, it's pivotal.
Make sure it has something to it. You know what I mean? Like you actually, you know, was doing something. You know, you don't want the story, man, I ain't did nothing.
That's not a good story.
That's not a good story. I ain't tried nothing.
Try something. Try something.
Yeah. That's not a good story. For real. Right? Because, you know, that means you really are in a lot of trouble. If you never tried something, never did something, and you let everybody else dictate how you gonna live your life, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah, you're in trouble.
that,
You're in a little bit of
that's
trouble
heavy.
because as
That's
soon as
heavy.
you get out here, life coming. Life got AKs and AR-15s and bombs, and life don't let up. It's every day. You know what I mean? And, you know, here it comes. Ding dong. You're like, who is that? It's life. What you here for? To kick your ass. You know? If you're not ready, don't open this door. Hold on. Let me get my shoes on. Oh, uh-oh. You ain't got your shoes on? Yeah. Open this door.
He talking to you through the door.
He talking to you to the door. Your ass ain't got your shoes on? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's life. I'm out here waiting on you. Yeah. What that mean? You get ready to find out as soon as you open this door. I ain't opening the door.
A lot of people choose not to open the door. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And as soon as you open the door, you like, whoa. No. Get ready. Because it happens every day.
Right.
Every day. With no let up. Ain't no let up. Here it comes. And you have right beat it. Hey, one of the craziest things, man, about life, right, is all those poor decisions you were making,
Mm-hmm.
they be right at the door with it. Hey, yeah, it's me. Yeah, who is you? Oh, it's life. But I brought back the time, right? I brought that with me. You like, no, you didn't. I thought that was gone. Life like, no, I brought that boy back. Yeah, I brought him back. No, I don't want to see him. Yeah, you got to see him because guess what? As soon as you get past me, you got to conquer him. He waiting. He was like, bang. And it happened again. And it's just like that. It'll happen again until you conquer it. Life will repeat itself until you conquer what it puts in front of you. It's almost like you was talking about. We was talking about the other day when we talked about the next level of the video game. Like I was right here, didn't look, and then when I had to evaluate myself, it was like, bing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's a whole other level.
Next level.
Right, because I had to conquer myself. I had to stop lying to myself. I had to, you got to be accountable for this, and you got to try this and be better here. And every time it just kept repeating itself, telling, bam. And I had become truthful with myself. And, that's man. Yeah, you winning. That's why I tell you that all the time. You 31, right? You ain't got no kids out here. Like, you winning. When you settle down, have family, and have a child, you winning. You are absolutely winning. You absolutely winning because you're doing it the right way.
Looking back, I gotta thank God for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you do.
That's it.
Yeah,
because it's wild, like you said, when you look back and you see what could have happened and it didn't, and your eyes get opened up. It's very humbling. A lot of gratitude for y'all too, like you said, my parents and everything else. It's not just that's real. So thanks.
No problem.
Thanks, Dad.
Yes, no problem.
You held on. You fought through. You was
hey man,
it was on your head.
Yeah, I wasn't, like they said, you ain't, and you ain't, And you,
Cause
I
yeah, I
took,
think I saw it was you versus Roy Jones Jr. basically.
yeah.
I know
He,
you gave him
he
a
in
rub.
shape. He in shape. I'm out of shape, and I gotta win. Yeah,
So you did what you had to do.
yeah, I gotta win. So Roy, he had to take it. Sorry, brother, you got to get it. I cannot lose.
Right.
I cannot lose. I cannot fail.
It probably felt like that too, huh? Like literally.
Well, you know, there, like we always talk about, it's, yeah, yeah. I guess
I
you.
can see that. I would assume. I mean, like I said, putting myself in your shoes, that's where I could see that that's really what you wanted, which is crazy. But you really did want you maneuvered strategically to where this could happen. Because if you didn't, it could have been so much salt in the game, so much dirt in the game that my pride, it would have taken a couple, we would have had to do a couple more levels, but you made the transition easy because of your actions, which is crazy. But see, you had lived, you have fought life, and that's what you said. He's trying to find himself. When you see all of those things, you kind of knew how to maneuver in a way where, again, this could happen. But like you could see it though, like you already lived. So
what I know we gonna end, but what would you like? So your age group, your group of your age, right? Your boys, you know, right? I already know, you have a lot of wisdom. I know that, right? So, but what would you tell them? Like, how are you gonna, besides them having to look the other way, what other piece of advice could you give a kid right now that was in that shoe?
what were your
Where you really do want to talk to your dad. You really want to, like you said, it was a bunch of times you wanted to tell me what was going on.
nah, but that's the thing though. I think I don't know if you are or are not underestimating the power of manipulation mixed with comfortability, but it's like biting the apple on Snow White. You know, it's lethal. You know,
Yeah,
whimsical. It's mythical. It's very powerful, man. You're under a it's very it's addictive. It's heroin or a powerful drug like
right, right,
you know,
right.
you know, it's like just like you said, life is crazy. Life do hit you. You walk out there and then you turn around and there's somebody there like you can come take a nap on my bosom and I got a nice fresh meal for you and you can tell me about how you feel. And, and you telling me that I'm gonna go box with Roy Jones Jr. or I'm gonna go over here and get this hot meal, take a nap, and play some video games. That don't even make sense. Of course, like you said, I gotta throw one man away. One
Right.
man has to get it for me to do this. He's getting he's out of here, folks. And I'm
Right,
not thinking twice about it. I'm not
right.
thinking twice about it. Get him out of here.
Get him out
Who?
of here. Who is
Get him
he?
out of here. Get him out of here instantly. I don't even want to hear it. Bye. Like, so yeah, that's what I mean. And that's a great depiction. That's a great a way of looking at it. Like you said, life is really tough, and then you got something that's gonna make it easier. Shoot, people just choosing the easy route because um it's easier, man. We want what we want, instant gratification. We don't want to try hard or work hard. We don't want to. And then again, like I told you, it's no like the person that you're throwing away or that you're knocking off is your guide to help you with the harder scenario. So you shooting yourself twice. You're shooting yourself in the foot, and then you're shooting yourself in the arm. You know, and that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's big boy stuff though, right? That's understanding that, just like you said, if sports helped you understand that you're gonna have these obstacles, you're gonna have to thump with them to get over them to get to where you gotta go. And sports taught you, team, and how you can work in environments, and right, it's a great training tool, and it helped you, and that's the blessing. That's what I wanted for you. Get your degree, whatever. Anything after that was a plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy though.
That's like Raven. Raven getting ready to graduate with honors. You know what I mean? And she's the sixth person, which is like we should most definitely. So it motivated me, like I was telling you, and I know how you feel about it, but I'm gonna do something with this education piece for sure. But I think just to have, but like you said, and like we come to understanding that we got work to do, son, and we have
Yeah,
gifts.
I'm on it.
Yeah, and we have gifts so we can help people, because that's what you're born for. To become a productive member of society. You're not here just
Be productive.
be productive. So with that being said, I think we banged this one. We got it right.
Yeah, we're gonna bang all of them. I'm what they say, you can run down and bang them all, or you can walk down.
Walk down. My man said, the young boy said to the old boy, let's go down there and get them all. Right? He said, let's walk down there
And hit them all.
Yeah,
he said, I'm gonna run down there and hit one of them, and he said, let's walk down and hit them all.
Yeah.
But yes, sir. Let's bang all of these got pops out the frame.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing but improvement.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm getting ready for the town hall. Hopefully you can get on Corn and Dave.
I'm gonna be working, but I might slide through.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, love you, man.
Love you too.